Ladies and gentlemen, how awfully nice to see you again. And tonight we have, oh yes, that is so nice. We have got a Les Paul Classic in Fireburst. And so, no surprises here, standard kind of format. I'll play you a bit of something noisy, then we'll have a run through the pickups, and then I will tell you everything I possibly can about this very, very finely constructed instrument. Alright, let's have a listen. Okay, so now we've had a listen to it being loud, let's have a listen to what the pickups do. So we're going to start from this end here and work our way through to this end with all the other bits in between. Okay, so we're now on this is a 57, it's a zebra, as you can see, so called because of the stripes. And this is the 57 Classic Plus, and it is absolutely toasty. It is a very, very hot pickup. And it sounds like this. On to the centre. And then the neck end, the 57 Classic. Alright, now we're going to do the same thing again, but we're going to use the coil splits. Quite frankly, for me, coil splits are a feature that I don't use, but it all depends upon your playing style and requirements. So here we go with the treble on split. Yeah, I think that it's trying to achieve a stratty kind of sound. Whether it actually hits that mark or not is probably subjective. Alright, into the centre. Sweet. And on to the neck. another little party trick, let's have these back in, is the active circuitry inside here. Now this takes a 9-volt battery, and I will show you that because if you don't know how to do it, you might even have one. Thank you. You might even have one, and you might have been struggling with it, but I'll tell you another little interesting factoid about it. Alright, so here we are on, let's stick it in the middle. Okay, so we're in the middle, there's no coil tapping, we're on full. And then when I flip this little dip switch here, in fact I'll do it once we've got a chord ringing. Oh, did you hear that? So what this provides is a little 15 decibel boost. Apparently one can actually fiddle with the resistance of that so that you can either up it or down it, but they're great for, you know, if you just want that extra little bit of oomph whilst you're doing your solo. Avoids the use of pedals. Not a fan of pedals. Anyway, right, so let's have a look round it and we'll tell you as much as we possibly can. Alrighty, so if you've seen any of my videos before about my preferences, of course, you know, everybody's tastes are different, but the one thing that I do not like is nib end binding. And so for 2014 and 2015, Gibson very thoughtfully produced these. Now I had a 2009 Classic, and that did have the nib end binding, but for 14 and 15 they made them without the nib end binding, as you can see. In my opinion, that is a significant upgrade. And you can also see whilst we're here that the action is absolutely breathtakingly low, and there's no choking, no buzzing, no blah 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 blah. This plays like an absolute diamond. And the other thing that you'll also know, if you're a bit of a Gibsonista, is that in 2015 they all came equipped, or largely came equipped, with the Robo tuners. Well, this has been swapped out for some quality locking machines. And I know from the comments that I've had back about the Robo tuners that this will make an awful lot of people very, very happy. I personally like the Robo tuners, but you know, that's it. It's all down to personal preferences. So what can we tell you? Well, okay, so let me turn that off. So this has a maple flamed cap, mahogany body, mahogany neck with the rosewood fingerboard, and of course it has the binding but without the nib ends. And do you know that Les Paul himself hated the nib ends? And that's something that I didn't find out until quite recently. So I was jolly pleased to hear that. Now this guitar has been played, and as such it does have a couple of little dings and whatnot here and there. There are two little marks at the bottom here. I can feel those, but they're pretty small. Can you see them? Let me just try and get it in. There's one there and one there, and there's also a little bit of playing wear on this side of the neck, but you can't feel it when you're playing. But for full disclosure, it is there, and there's actually, even just at the 12th there, there's just a little paint chip. I mean, you could touch it in with a bit of nail varnish if you could really be bothered. But let me tell you, the point about this is that it plays and sounds absolutely astonishingly. The pickups are absolutely red hot. and everything works. Everything works. You've got one tone and two. I know what you thought when you first saw it. You thought that my knob was missing, but it isn't. In fact, the knob number 4 has been, of course, replaced with this little switch here that provides the 15 dB boost. And yeah, I like that. I like it. I think that is a cool feature. You see, as you'll know, when I play anything, it's all flat out. So having knobs or not wouldn't make a great deal of difference to me. Alright, so oh yes, and also there's quite a bit of worming, quite a bit of buckle rash on there. You can see that this has been played by somebody who wore a big old belt, probably Harley Davidson or Triumph, or maybe a Skull and Crossbones, who knows. And so in here, in the control cavity, you have got this extra little compartment here. And what I will show you what happens here. So you simply pop your finger in there, and then this bit here hinges backwards. I'm not going to do it now because it requires 2 hands to do it. And so this, and it's very easy to do. You just push this in, but you do need 2 hands. You push this in, this hinges backward and reveals the aperture that your square 9-volt battery goes in. And by the way, you can't put it in the wrong way. It won't let you close the lid. I know, because I tried to put it in the wrong way, like a goon. And also, when you are changing the battery, make sure that you're unplugged. Now, the interesting little factoid that I'll tell you about this, that a lot of people do, is they don't bother with the battery at all. And you don't need to, because the circuitry still works absolutely fine without it. But what you can do is you can use, now there's no battery in it, you can use your little toggle as a kill switch. How cool is that? So well done, Gibson. This is an absolutely ingeniously thought out guitar. No nib end bindings, let's lose the tone control and stick some active circuitry in. I think it's absolute genius. Well balanced, you know, it's a Gibson Les Paul, it's a classic, and I can find, other than those few cosmetic issues that I've showed you, which wouldn't really bother me, because for a start, you can't see any worming on the back because it's up against your gut, and everything, absolutely everything works perfectly. So if you are in the market for buying one of these, if all of the information is not, or if there's information missing in the advert that you're buying it from, or better still, if you can go around and see it and just make sure that all the electrics work, then that is my top tip to you. And if you don't have all the information that you require, all of those little things that I've told you about, the what they call it, the coil taps, the little boost circuitry, the battery compartment, because apparently, well, they sell them new as replacements, which can only lead me to think that sometimes they might need replacing. This does not. It's clean and it works perfectly. In fact, when I acquired this, there was no battery in it, so I suspect that it's probably not even being used. But it does, as you've heard, work absolutely perfectly. So you've got your standard old trapeze inlays there, they're mother of pearl, I think, and you've got the proper pearl inlay Gibson logo rather than the either silver or gold silkscreen. And of course, with it being 2015, as we know, that would have been Les Paul's 100th year. And so you've got the Les Paul 100, his signature there in gold silk screen, and a hologram of the chap himself. And I'm going to say it again, still gigging at 93. Wow. Alright, okay. So no breaks, no defects, no repairs, just some honest playing wear. And it looks fabulous. I love the Fireburst. So that's it. Of course, these, with them being the 2015 model, they come with their best case. The best, made in USA, the best case that I've ever seen. Not just from Gibson, from absolutely anybody. They are capacious, they are rugged. The cubby hole is enormous. Of course, we've got the manual and the baby photo on the desk. I do rather like that. I like that. That is an absolute work of art. You've got your inspection certificate there. Massive, massive, massive cubby holes, and of course the instrument fits in there beautifully. And you can drop them from a height of 15 feet, or so the blurb tells us. So that's it from Roxy and the Classic. Oh, hello. Excuse me. Yes, let's have you somewhere sensible. Right, okay, so that's it from me and the Classic. Thanks all ever so much for watching again. It's been a joy seeing you, and it's adios amigos. Ta-ra.